In the latest episode of The Boys, Stan Edgar says something interesting that really caught my attention. He asked Starlight specifically, I take it Marie Moreau is running late? And if you don't know who Marie Moreau is, that's something very important because it might be the only reason The Boys cast might actually defeat Homelander. But first, let's talk a little bit about who Marie Moreau is. Marie Moreau is the main character of Gen V, and she might be the key to ending Homelander's reign. The show itself says it directly. Dean Cypher, aka Godalkin, states that Marie has a potential to become the most powerful Supe Vought has ever seen. But you might be asking why. Now, the main reason would be that she's a product of Project Odessa, the same secret program that created Homelander. Back in 1960s, Vought injected Compound V into human embryos at the earliest stage of development. But we know, according to Gen V, that dozens of children died and only 2 survived. And that would be, of course, Homelander and Marie Moreau. This clearly shows us that they have the same origin, the same ceiling, but they have very different powers. Now I'm going to be talking about both their feats and how it is possible that Marie Moreau could defeat Homelander in a fight. Firstly, we'll talk about Homelander. Now we all know that Homelander is a living weapon. He's fast enough to keep up with A-Train, reaching speeds of around Mach 1.5. He's taken a car being hurled at him straight and shrugged it off without a scratch. His durability is literally on another level. The show also implies that he can survive any man-made weapon, although a nuclear blast would likely kill him. Now we have seen him bleed during his fight with Ryan in the last episode, where he directly fought Ryan and Ryan was able to make his nose bleed. Now this shows us that he does have limits. And more importantly, nothing suggests his internal organs are actually invincible. In fact, Queen Maeve was able to force a small metal object into his ear to make him bleed. Now this proves that not every part of his body is protected the same way. Now this is where Marie comes in. Marie isn't a brawler. One punch from Homelander and she's gone. She doesn't really have the durability feats, but she has something else entirely. Her hacks abilities that literally ignore physical strength. Now Marie's power is biokinesis, the ability to control any cell within someone's blood. And she already showed us what that means. She has caused internal explosions by manipulating people's blood inside bodies. We've also seen her heal severe injuries and even reverse age and disease in Thomas Godalkin. And over time, as she got more advanced control of her powers, she got upgrades like telekinetic-like abilities. Now, you might be asking yourself, isn't this just the same power as Victoria Newman? But no, and let me explain why. Now, for Victoria Newman was dangerous, but she was also limited. She controls blood like a weapon, but she does need precision, often in the line of sight. I mean, we saw how big of an issue it was, having a drawback like Newman not being able to see. But anyways, let's get back to the point. Marie is different. She controls biology at a cellular level. Now, this means that blood is just her medium. I'm sorry to say to all the Newman fans, but Marie is just her upgrade. Now, how could Marie actually kill Homelander? There are 4 main ways. Marie Moreau could seize control of his heart, force it into failure, and stop blood flowing instantly, meaning no recovery and death in mere seconds. The second one would be a cerebral hemorrhage. She could rupture or block a blood vessel in his brain. Now, even if his skull is invulnerable, his brain still is a biological tissue. A massive stroke would kill him or leave him a complete vegetable. Now, the third one is basically the Victoria Newman style, which would be the head explosion. As we've seen before, she could flood his skull with blood, increasing pressure until it fails from the inside. Now, this would bypass his entire durability. Now, the fourth one is the biggest one and one of the viable factors I think might actually happen. And this is Compound V extraction. We all know that Homelander's powers come from Compound V in his blood system. And we all know that the show is hinting towards Homelander attaining V1 alongside Soulja Boy's help and also Stan Edgar, which would basically make him invincible. But as we stated before, Marie can control biology at a cellular level. This means she could remove or even neutralize it completely. And this is all due to her powers of biokinesis, whereas Victoria Newman had hemokinesis. So in other words, this would strip him of his powers, turn him completely human, and once he's human, he's basically finished. Now, I will point towards Marie's limitations, number 1 being the main one, which is speed. If Homelander even moves first, she's probably dead instantly. But if she even gets a single moment to focus, the fight is over. Now you might try to use her being lasered by Homelander as a durability feat, but as we've seen before, he can go from lasering planes to literally warming up milk with his laser eyes. Now you might be asking why this matters for season 5. Because literally everything is escalating. The virus is gone. The resistance is scattered. And Marie is also nowhere to be seen. Although I do believe she will make an appearance in the next episode, she might be the real last counter to Homelander left. So the question is simple. Can Marie Moreau beat Homelander? And the answer is yes. She has the ability, she has a counter. But in The Boys, as we've all seen, having the power to win has never guaranteed survival long enough to use it. So what do you think? Is Marie Moreau the only one who can end a Homelander, or just another person who couldn't get the chance?